What's up guys, Omni here. You guys know how it goes, another day, another video. Last night I tweeted I sleep. What recent news, topic, tweets, videos you want me to talk about tomorrow? Hey guys, today is Tuesday, October 14th, okay? We are almost halfway into the week. Hope you guys had a nice, happy Monday. Brother. Oh my goodness. This one's gonna be a big chunky wonky. We got super freaking huge updates, game changing, may even be like the finale, okay, of this whole Hasan Piker Collargate deal, okay? The things that have been happening over the past 24 hours have been astronomical. You guys know we've been following this story, this trail since last week. Okay, and it seems like every single day something wild keeps happening, but yesterday might be the biggest turning point of this entire fiasco. Okay, if you haven't been following, I don't know where you've been under the last couple of days. Okay, this has been on Fox News, it's been on the top of Twitter, it's been on the top of Reddit. Okay, popular #1 like all Reddit posts of all time. Everyone is talking about Hasan Piker Collargate. TLDR, just a quick recap. Okay, it all started off again with Hasan has dog, has puppy goes Arr! Hasan says, "Oh, you big baby, what's going on? You're such a spoiled brat." You know, this is after he kind of looks forward. People say, "Huh, that's weird. Why does it look like that his dog is reacting to a shock?" And then Hasan says he just stepped, you know, weird on the mat, his dew claw, sensitive dew claw. From there, everybody started to look into this and be like, there's something going on more with Hasan and his dog Kaya. Yeah, people like Moist Critical, and everyone starts chiming in and saying this looks a little bit fishy. Meanwhile, Hasan comes back on stream and says that everybody is basically just trying to smear his name and that everyone is just crazy or morons. That's day one, essentially. Day two turns into Hasan coming back on his stream and showing off the collar and saying it's a vibration collar with an air tag. And he does a quick little 15 to 20 second display of the tag, and people are like, huh, okay, interesting. But also it seems like there's some electrical tape on the back of this collar. What is going on with there and why is that there? Hasan says this is dealt with, this is case closed. But then internet detectives kept looking further into the collar and they found out that the model of the collar looks exactly like one that is a shock collar. Apparently there's a vibration only version of this collar that does exist. However, it does not match the one that he has. Meanwhile, same day, Hasan basically says that he was basically reaching over every time he does this thing. He's reaching over for his nicks, which I believe is like some type of like gum that you chew, nicotine or tobacco gum. So then internet detectives get to work again, looking at clips and finding old clips of Hasan. One of them being where he yanks and pulls one of his old dogs by the tail. That kind of says that, yeah, he has a history of potentially mistreating his dogs. He then finds old clips where it looks like Kaya conveniently just goes back to the corner of her room after again he reaches into this mysterious left space, and people are saying that it's a coincidence, but some people are saying it looks like there's a correlation and a pattern. We've also found more clips of Hasan where he basically says that yes, he's trying to keep his dog here on a leash to sit here to train her and to not move for hours and hours. Outside of Hasan himself, he's been featured on Fox News. Okay, Fox News had no idea what they were talking about. They were just using this as a way to basically continue to prop the right. You have Pokimane, Lily Pichu. They had a podcast that got canceled, which we'll talk more about. There's been updates as well because, well, their staff was afraid of what might happen if they were to basically release this podcast. You have valkyrae, okay, one of the people that publicly came out here and tried to defend Hasan and said that, you know, he's a very good owner and the dog is just a baby, taking a step back and apologizing for looking for assistance and aid from Asmongold. Asmongold has responded. I'll show you guys that clip as well. Apparently there's a clip that I forgot to show you guys. It was more recent. I think it was yesterday, where he says he was just basically reaching somewhere to kind of like open the gate, and that, you know, I guess Kaya reacts to them opening the gate. And that's about it. That's kind of where you are. You're kind of caught up. There's been a lot of new clips that are both from the past and from the present and the current as well, along with some of his friends who have come out, where it looks like there may be too many contradictions to ignore at this point. If you want to kind of like pick up where we first started, okay, just go back like 4 or 5 episodes and just watch it from there, okay? You can see everything play out in real time. Hasan is becoming like the new Illuminati, okay? He's appearing on my thumbnail like every freaking day because there's something big happening every time, and this guy is like big news, right? I'm not some dude with some hate boner on Hasan who's like, yeah, yeah, let me put this man on a thumbnail every single day. Blah, 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 blah. Mans is literally at the front and at the top of every single news site that I see like every single day since I've been covering this. And you guys want me to cover the news, so that's exactly what I'm doing. But first, okay, palate cleanser, okay? I think you guys might like this clip. It's a clip of a 3-second clip of this dog giving one of the best daps I've ever seen in the history of dappage.
Weight division is already tagged, and now you.
Damn. Did you see that? Let's do that one more time. Just one more time. Look at that.
Weight division is already tagged.
That is so cute. That's so cute. That warms the heart. There you go. Okay. For those of you guys coming here with pitchforks, put them down. All right. We ain't here for blood. For those of you guys like, no, my britches is not, relax. All right. We're just trying to get the truth. We're just trying to figure out things objectively. Okay. So this guy by the name of Best Friend Kick. Okay. He found a specific clip where it says Hasan Piker notices a shock dog collar remote on his stream, 2 eyes emoji. And this one started to blow up everywhere on Twitter as well as on live stream fails. And also now I'm starting to see it in other major news websites. The opening starts with this. This is 0.0 and it's the meme of him shocking his dog. These memes are so hilarious, okay? And if you guys are like, Omni, that's insensitive, even Hasan has been leaning into them as well, okay? Stop it. All right, get some help. We use meme for coping, okay? And then it shows here, you know, the arrow circle pointing towards what appears to be some type of device, okay? I'll play the clip first, one way through, and then I'll pause it for you guys play by play.
I'm gonna put the Y shot.
Okay, I'm gonna turn this back off.
Boom.
Yes, again. Hi, Jack. Go to the camera, huh?
Yeah.
Think about going outside. Last but not least, thank you all for joining us on this wonderful Christmas.
Now Hasan will sing his favorite Christmas song.
Yeah. We'll be having a wonderful Christmas time. Right? Is that the right one?
Good.
There it is.
Kaya, please just fucking go.
Okay, so I don't think like half of this clip was actually necessary. That part was all just the memes. Somebody made an actual full feature like 3-minute film talking about this drawing. The animations has been crazy. Okay, let's go back, okay, to the actual objective information here. This bad boy right here, people are trying to figure out what it is. Spoiler alert, they've already figured it out, okay? But Hasan sees it on the table after he does this wide view shot, right? He's looking around and he sees it that it's on the wide view. He takes it, he moves it with his left hand. Always that left hand, brother. Always that left hand. He pushes it out the frame, then uses the you know, he looks at he can see this, by the way, because he's looking at his monitor. So he sees the top down view. So even though it's not like a surveillance camera where he doesn't know what's going on, he sees this actual scene. And then he's like, all right, it's out of view. Time to grab a cookie. Okay?
Go to the camera, huh?
You know?
Yeah.
So he grabs the cookie and eats. Okay. Again, a lot of people might be saying coincidence. Again, coincidence. Mans was just moving it because it was going to fall or something. Right? And again, I give people the benefit of the doubt too as well. Okay. From what I've been seeing, it feels like every time there's a coincidence, there's an explanation of how it could go another way, right? Oh, this clip looks really bad, but here's an explanation. Oh, this clip does look really bad, but also here's an explanation. So, but this one really feels like he's moving this specific object so that it's no longer being seen. I can't think of any other reason why somebody would push something out of a frame that is no longer in the frame, outside of that he doesn't want people to see it. So here's the still clip. You can see it's QTCinderella and valkyrae. More on these two later, by the way. So, you know, they're kind of aware that there's probably something sitting here by the cookie box, right? But then if you go to the next frame, people have said that this is the ET300BK remote transmitter, okay? With the stimulation button, stimulation boost button, stimulation level dial, antenna, LCD, battery light, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Suggesting that this whole thing that he's been reaching for the entirety of this time that people keep saying looks like it might be shocking the dog and making the dog move or vibrate was in fact this item. Okay, that's the so far what internet detectives have pointed out. So that is what people appears to be the smoking a gun. Now here is Hasan again in a later clip. This was yesterday, kind of talking about this situation again. He's like day 2, day 3, day 4 into this, and he's explaining again what he thinks is actually happening.
Guys that don't even know Kaya's name, coming in here saying abuser. I know. Can we just move on, please? Because the memes were funny in the first couple of days, but now the only people that still are like actively pushing it are people who are genuinely mentally ill, in the way that like anytime my fucking arm moves around, or like I unlock the gate or some shit, like I do have a button on my desk for the gate, right? And I unlock the gate, and obviously if you have a dog, you know this already, when they hear that the gate is unlocked, they perk up. They're like, oh my God, he shocked her again. You know, it's just, they are weird stalkers.
So again, just pausing it, and I'll reply with it soon. But again, Hasan's explanation is that anybody who's kind of still looking into this, right, are either weird stalkers, or they're schizophrenic, or there's something, right? Hasan, again, he has this thing where if people basically think that something is occurring that might not be happening, or he disagrees, he just immediately calls them mentally ill.
That are demonstrating their mental illness. And I think it's just, you know, it is what it is. Bro, they are narrating your dog absolutely schizos. Yeah, it's cop brain. This is going to be a post on its own again. I know. Anytime I bring anything up, anytime I even address this, like, people go fucking nutty over it. So I feel like I am giving it too much energy, I know, but like chatters also are like, oh, this happened, that happened, whatever. Yeah. In any case, where was I? You're creating employment. True. Genuine question. How do you deal with this level of psychosis directed towards you? I don't know. I'm fucking stubborn.
Okay. So chat is also reinforcing that everybody's in a psychosis. Everyone's in this weird super la la land where I guess everybody is just mentally ill, for potentially looking at what could be objective evidence and being like, some of these things are not really adding up. Another clip that you guys keep asking me to play. Okay. There's a clip. It's an old one from 2019. Again, I can't play the clip. Okay, I'm going to let you guys know I'm not playing this clip because these are the type of clips that can get yanked off of YouTube for animal cruelty. So for the third time and the last time, okay, I think this is Hasan's old prior dog, and he was training the dog. Okay, I'm not going to play the parts where it could potentially be animal cruelty, because again, it gets yoinked off the YouTube platform.
Stay. If you run right now, I'll fucking kill you. Like, I'll actually kill you, okay? In front of everyone. Motherfucker.
Okay, so I'm stopping right there. The dog's not staying. He's moving, okay? And then people were saying that he was probably using that to trying to get him to stay or move for just training or for a picture or whatever. But eventually, as the dog continues to move, he grabs the dog by the tailbone and then pulls him backwards. Super huge freaking no-no. Super huge freaking no-no. If you are a dog owner, you know anything about dogs, you do not pull from the tailbone, okay? This is the one that has a lot of people outraged. This is also the clip that I believe a lot of people are not even arguing or disputing that is very, very bad. Again, another unearthed clip that popped up yesterday as well is Hasan talking about a while back where he basically has his dog kind of just chilling in the background of his video.
And also, one of the parts of this training is also supposed to put her, like, we're using the elevated bed, as you guys can see. And one of the things with the elevated bed is that she has a leash on right now on the elevated bed, so she can't like really get off of it. She now knows to sit in place for hours and hours on end.
Okay, so that's him basically saying that he has learned to teach Kaya how to sit in place for hours and hours on end. Okay. And this is from a long time ago, and obviously this didn't pop up in any drama. It's only popping up now because it reinforces this whole campaign that's going on. And again, you can give your opinion on how you feel about that kind of training. I've had big dogs. Okay. I've done a lot of training with them since they were puppies going on. I know about the place command too as well. I do know about putting leashes on dogs so that they sit in specific places. However, for hours on end, I don't know about that. For temporary purposes, okay, maybe for like 15 minutes or so or whatever, but hours on end leashed up to a very small, tight spot. I don't know how I feel about that. I do know there's a lot of people who use crate training though. So sometimes they'll have dogs in crates, especially when they are much, much younger, to kind of train them to be in a particular place. But I don't know how Kaya is, how old she is or whatever. But again, this is just his training method. If you feel that there's no problem with that, then you again take that for what it is. A lot of people though are upset and think that this is all kind of just adding to the concept that feels like Maya is kind of being locked in to this spot in this place for hours, especially, you know, like while he streams as well. Another clip. This was in defense of Hasan. Okay, he is here on the Fear podcast. Okay, with 3 of his fellow podcasters. One of them being QTCinderella. I forget who the other 2 are. Okay, don't tase me, bro. I don't really watch this, but yes, they've been talking about the shock collar incident, and that's funny. I said don't tase me, bro. God, I'm so funny. All right, let's go.
Oh, I care. So you've probably been asked too. People keep coming in our chats and they're like,
go to Austin's chat.
They go to poor rickety old Austin show who's barely getting up in the morning.
why are you hanging out with a dog abuser?
Yeah.
I would like to make it clear. I don't believe that Hasan has abused a dog.
No, I also
Personally.
don't believe that either because I bore witness to how you treat.
I like that. I like this. I like the I don't believe. That's good. That's good because it's kind of like but it does happen, then I can't believe it happened. But I don't believe. Even Hasan kind of looked like he was a little kind of like, why would you just say I don't believe right here? Why would you say I don't believe? Why would you just say he's not? He kind of looking for that 100% affirmation, but
Also don't believe that either because I bore witness to how you treat her, and you treat her much better than me. I tell you what.
Well, I will say.
I tell you what. If anything, everybody should be talking about me.
Yeah, I agree.
To be fair,
I will. I've been here many, many times. I've never seen. You don't have to take my word. I've never seen a shock.
No,
I have to admit that
I've never seen a shock.
why are you?
see, I feel like Cutie is like, I feel like she's kind of. I've never seen it. I believe, but I haven't seen it. I have to let y'all know. I have never seen a shock. Okay, I a little bit of maybe potential distancing. Okay, but confirming that she feels like she's never seen a shock. And yes,
I've never seen a shock.
Why are you talking like this is a legal document
Hey,
where you're like,
Your Honor, I've
it's
never seen a
happened in my
zap.
presence. When I'm not around, he's probably shocking the fuck out of her.
He's probably zapping everybody,
No,
but
yeah,
I've never seen a zap.
Yeah.
I've stayed here. No.
I have to admit my household is split because Farley fucking hates Kaya.
That's true.
So he was actually super psyched.
Farley finally likes me because he saw the videos and was like, oh, that bitch is getting shocked.
In
Hell
case
yeah.
you don't know, Farley's my dog who has little to no training and fucking hates Kaya.
so those are his friends. That's what they're explaining. Okay, I feel like we're in a place here where things are a little tricky because. So what a lot of people are saying that these are like streamers plus friends, right? So they have their own clout to protect. They have their own companies to protect. They have their own image to protect as well. But also they're friends with Hasan too as well. And things get really tricky when your friends start getting into debacles, per se. And because then you're going to have to be like, well, you're my friend, but also what, bro? But also I believe you because you're my friend. But also if I'm attached to you as your friend on this, then I'm going to look guilty. So they're in a rough spot. Anybody who's around his circle, I think is in a bit of a tough pickle. But in my opinion, okay, in my opinion. You got one side where you probably want to believe that your friend would not do something. You have another side that if it did happen, that you look really bad. So they got to figure that out. Next up, we've got a few more other clips in the aftermath, the people around Hasan, and then some present day clips that are making things look a little bit weird as well. Okay. So yesterday we talked about how Pokimane Sweet and Sour, how the podcast was basically being delayed because they had it recorded with Hasan. And there was a small update. Well, apparently Poki is saying, hey, the episode was supposed to air as usual, but staff refused to upload it out of fear. It caused drama, and also posted this statement without my approval, sad face. Okay. So that was not Lily Pichu or Pokimane who made this small update post here and saying that this was something that got posted without her approval. Maybe they wrote it, but maybe they updated or posted it without the approval. I don't know. Anyway, she said, sorry guys, we'll talk about everything on this week's episode and go on hiatus afterwards to restructure. Okay, so already without the podcast even coming out, without the episode even coming out, the Sweet and Sour podcast is getting the trash taste treatment. Okay, that's two podcasts that are now getting the Hasan treatment. Another update. Okay, remember we were talking about valkyrae. Okay, she came out being like, hey, Hasan would never. Okay, think about the genocide. Think about all these evil things. And then she came out with another response video the day after because all of her fans were upset that she reached out to Asmongold for advice on whether or not she should post on Reddit. Asmongold being the political streamer as well, who is always on Reddit. He eats, lives, breathes, and shits all of this stuff. Okay, both him and PLL said, don't do it, not a good idea. She then made this post saying, yeah, I reached out to them and you know, just wanted to make sure if I should do it or not, because I'm just trying to make sure that I do things right or wrong or whatever. And then her audience got upset for her for reaching out to Asmongold, essentially saying like, hey, you should know that Asmongold has said a lot of terrible things. And he also said a lot of terrible things about the Palestine people. Okay, so the fact that you reached out, but also in a tweet, you said free Palestine literally the same day, people were like, that feels like a dissonance. It feels like what you're doing is performative. Okay. And so they were kind of complaining, her Ray Twitter thing or whatever, kind of coming at her. And then she made another video being like, hey guys, you were right. I need to take accountability. I live under a rock. I'm dumb. I just don't know nothing. I need to take accountability. She's not saying anything specific, just kept saying the same thing for like a minute, 30 seconds. They're just reading off her chat and basically saying, you're right, chat. You're right. I need to take accountability. I don't know anything. I live under a rock. Just over and over. And this is now Asmongold reacting to what feels or looks like, you know, Ray throwing Asmongold under the bus after Asmongold gave her advice to kind of protect herself.
So valkyrae apologizes to her community for DMing Asmongold. My fault for not being aware enough, probably so hurtful and jarring. I think everyone, including myself, should be more aware of what's going on in the world. I'm not aware enough. I hear you guys. So she went out and she said this about me, obviously, like she basically apologized for messaging me, right? That's pretty much what it was. And I think that, honestly, the biggest mistake that she made is that she didn't message me twice, because she should have messaged me and asked if she should have told the community that she messaged me. And if she had done that, I'd have told her no. I would never want and expect a person to, like, you know, put their career at risk or to do something that would be bad for their community just for my ego or to make me look good, right? And so, like, I don't take this personally. I don't get upset about this. It doesn't bother me. I'm not mad about it. I think that it's funny, if you want me to be honest. Not in a way that I'm laughing at her misfortune, but in a way that it's just like, man, what a ridiculous situation.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I was doing, was like, I felt like laughing at the situation. It is a ridiculous situation, but Asmongold saying like, yeah, if you would have, you know, reached out to me again, I would have said, don't tell people that you reached out for me. I'm not trying to take credit for you or anything like that. I'm gonna let you know, hey, this is my advice. And also, you don't have to let people that you reached out to me, because I can see that metrics wise that this would look bad for you as well. I think Asmongold has communicated about this with like offline TV, and many times that he understands why people would distance himself from it. He doesn't take it personal. He doesn't say, you know, I have fake friends, blah, 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 blah. He's kind of like, yes, I'm a controversial figure. I say some crazy shit from time to time, and I get why people don't want to be associated with me, and I don't want to cause any harm to the people in my circle by them associating with me in that light. Therefore, I get it. The thing about this clip too as well is that I agree with Asmongold. There's a lot of you guys who were talking in the chat saying that Asmongold is apparently, he's a centrist, with some left-leaning topics, but then he also believes in some right-leaning things as well, okay? From what I've seen, clips popping up from Asmongold, okay, I don't watch him like that. But I be seeing him say some really out-of-pocket things from time to time. I'm like, whoa, you know, like, whoa, it's like whiplash. And some of it, sometimes it's violent rhetoric, okay? So I'm gonna let y'all know as a non-Asmongold watcher, again, who has no hate boner for nobody, all right? The things I be seeing is just like, whoa, how can a human being say something like that, okay? But a lot of people are trying to communicate to me in the chats and the comments and saying that actually he gives level-headed takes. So I haven't seen those level-headed takes. I'm not telling you that I don't believe you. I'm just letting you know what's actually popping up on my timeline. But yeah, I think Asmongold is right here. Like, this is one of those situations where he did come in, he did help her, and he would have preferred not to have been included in the conversation to protect Valkyrae, but also not to boost himself in attempts to helping Valkyrae. He doesn't want to gain anything from giving her advice. Valkyrae, on the other hand, seems to be kind of like listening to her chat. I feel like she's very, very, very concerned about her image and her community. And her community, like she said, was some of her harsh, some are not harsh. They're absolutely split. And she's just trying to figure out where to kind of like place herself maybe in order to get the least amount of backlash. That's what I imagine. She's just like, oh crap. So should I not associate? Should I associate? What should I do, guys? What should I do, guys? You're telling me to do this. I'm listening. I'm accountable. But you guys are saying this. All right, I'm listening. I'm accountable. Like I said, she's getting pulled around by her audience, which is making her lose her sense of self. And some people are saying that she just does not have that stance or that ground. She's just, again, concerned what everyone thinks or feels about her. To be completely frank, I can empathize with Valkyrae. I know a lot of people were kind of trashing her and everything like that. As a content creator, okay, when you are trying to make and create a community, all right, you want to create a place that's happy and safe and fun for everybody. You don't want to let your audience down. You really, really don't. And you do. When you want to listen, you want to kind of listen and see. You want to try to make everyone happy. That's usually the goal for a lot of people who make content and who create communities, okay? So when there's discord and dissonance in the community pulling from the left and the right, it might tug at you and you might try to figure out, like, how do I make sure that my community knows that we are both en simpatico, okay? And unfortunately, I think what's occurring is that her audience is split, which is fine. You guys are split all the freaking time. You guys are always in a consistent state of split. That's the community that I've actually created, is that I encourage you guys to disagree. I encourage you guys to have different thoughts. I encourage you guys to have free thought. I don't encourage the echo chamber, and the more divisive, the better, okay? Because that means we get more points of views, and I like that kind of atmosphere more than everyone kind of like in line saying the same things and repeating the same things and having the same confirmation bias without. I like that personally. But Valkyrae is kind of like, I don't know what to do with this. Also, the reason why I empathize too as well is because as a content creator, your public image is like directly tied sometimes to your self-worth. Okay, so it gets hard to kind of like separate how people might view you when how people view you can destroy what you've created. Okay, so it's like an added pressure of like, if you have people pleasing tendencies and you have these eyes, and also people talking crap about you, people saying mad things about you. If you come into this game, you come into the YouTube game and you don't have a strong sense of self, you will get rocked. Body thrown around the crowds like waves, okay? It happened to me when I started as well, and it might happen to me in the future. For real, it might happen again. Who knows, right? No one's perfect. So again, this is just me showing empathy because I think I can understand some perspective that maybe some of you at home might not be able to understand, the pressures of being a content creator. What I have learned is that it's pretty important to find your place and find yourself and then find that confidence that you are, you're good as you are, and that you're open to learning and that you're open to adjusting, right? But you got this is what I believe. This is what I want. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going for. And I'll listen to everybody and I'll take it in and I'll figure out if I want to adjust based on that. But you got to have your place first, your starting place. And you got to be grounded and feel good in what it is that you feel like you're trying to accomplish. I feel good in what I'm trying to accomplish. I have massive people unfollowing nonstop for giving opinions. That's not my objective, though, is to keep people in my crowd who want to follow me for giving their opinion. My group is to find the people who want to stick with me and talk with me about these issues where I give my opinion independently, who like to wait and chill until we get all the full information, who don't want to bring out pitchforks, okay? Who don't want to call people crazy and delusional, okay? And there's people who do that in the comments too as well. I know that, but you guys know the energy that I'm about, and that's the energy that I'm trying to create. And I think over time, it has helped that when we find ourselves in situations like this, when we're disagreeing, more times than not, and what I've been seeing in the comments, that you guys appreciate that I'm not trying to create an echo chamber, that I'm not trying to play sides and pitchfork and I'm not trying to do all of that. And then I'll be called fence sitter, like for literally not making a decision on what's happening with Hasan. Omni, you're just a fence sitter. Why have you not condemned Hasan at this point yet? I'm letting the man explain himself, because what's the rush? Okay, what's the rush? As you can see, as more, if the truth will set you free, the truth will come to light about this situation. The more people look, the more Hasan responds, things will develop. What's the rush to pick a side and potentially be wrong on it? People so desperately want to be a part of a faction, bro. And it's like, I'm not in about that life where I desperately need to feel like I'm a part of a freaking crowd or part of holding a weapon. I don't want that in my life. So that think that valkyrae is kind of going through something that's going to be very changing for her, probably scarring for her. And we all need therapy as content creators. But again, sorry, this was a bit of a rant to kind of empathize. I'm not excusing her behavior whatsoever, but I do empathize with Ray. Last but not least, okay, this is the clip that a lot of people, this is the one that's at the top. This is the one that's saying it's a game changer, okay? Because they have an outside source, QTCinderella, who's making a claim and that she was at a phase house. They're doing a subathon, and she made a claim that kind of, again, contradicts all the information that has been put out and displayed so far.
No, there's no shock. Like, the electric prongs are taken out of it.
But here's my thing, right?
Like, it's only a vibrate. Like, there's a setting for vibrate and there's a setting for shock.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So there's only the, like, since the prongs are in it only vibrates.
Okay, so what QTCinderella said here, and again, this is her explanation. There's a setting for vibrate and there's a setting for shock, and that there are prongs and that the prongs have been taken out of the collar, okay? This contradicts everything that we have learned so far in terms of what we have been told by Hasan. In case you don't get the clip again, I'll play it one more time, all right? They're trying to talk about the collar.
No, there's no shock. Like, the electric prongs are taken out of it.
So I'm saying there's no shock. The electric prongs, the little bloop zooms, have been taken out of it.
But here's my thing, right?
Like, it's only a vibrate. Like, there's a setting for vibrate and there's a setting for shock.
That's a fact.
So saying that there's a setting for vibrate and there's a setting for shock, which is, I guess, I mean, she knows a lot about the shock collar, apparently. She knows about that there's a vibration and there's a shock. She's never seen a shock, but she's aware of it. So she seems to know the details of this.
Yes. So there's only the, like, since the prongs are in it only vibrates.
So she's saying that because the prongs are in it, I'm guessing she means not in it, it only vibrate. People have been saying when it comes to this specific collar, okay, that if it's a shock collar, which is what now people are claiming it is based on the evidence, then the explanation becomes that Hasan bought a shock collar, which could have been a vibration collar instead, because there's vibration collars out there. There are also shock collars. He bought the shock collar. Then after he bought the shock collar, he took out the shock prongs, right? It still shocks, but the prongs are now gone. You need the prongs in order to touch them. And then he put electrical tape over the prongs. But I don't think he's actually talked about what the electrical tape was either. And then put it on Kaya, and that is what is occurring. And yes, but more importantly, kind of debunking the theory that Hasan's collar is not a vibration collar. It is a shock collar. So when people were saying that it is a shock collar, it's a shock collar model, and he was saying, no, you're idiots, you're schizos, you're just, it was, okay? This is, if QTCinderella's testimony is true, there's a contradiction. Have you watched Phoenix Wright? If you look at this evidence, there is a objective contradiction to statements that are being made here. So either QTCinderella is wrong or Hasan is lying, one or the other, but not both. So that's kind of where we are, okay? We've had people like XQC, Ethan Klein, Trainwrecks, a lot of people in the Outsphere kind of weighing in. And then there's been a very, very strong silence from people like that are usually in the LA circle, okay? The Pokimanes, the Ludwigs, the friends of Hasan, which obviously makes sense, okay? It's difficult to try to make commentary or talk about people who are in your circle, who are your friends, who you may also believe is good. And also Hasan has also talked to them as well. Hasan, I believe, is very good with talking in general, hence his category and space of politics as well. So they're either in the position of A, they believe Hasan, he wouldn't do it, and they're just kind of like believing what he has to say. B, they're kind of unsure. They don't really know, but you know, if they do say something, then they're going to be showing dissent for Hasan. And that might affect clout. That might, the Hasan, you know, fans might come after them. And so there's been people, there's been creators who have been said that they are afraid to speak out about this subject because they are worried about the backlash that they will receive from one side or the other. I can empathize, all right? I have had people who I've considered internet homies, okay? I don't have any like best friendos, but internet homies. My hero, freaking Chugga Conroy, was in one of the wildest dramas ever. And I don't know if you guys were there when Chugga Conroy was getting canceled and then eventually he kind of like absolved himself. My heart was getting broken, homie, covering this. I was like, oh my God, I couldn't ignore it. I had to talk about it. I had to let you guys know. I even said I have a bias. This is one of my favorite. He's the reason why I started YouTube in the first place. So me being in a place where I actually talked about him, and obviously I kept talking about him and try to give the benefit of the doubt. Again, not jumping to sides, but talking about the information and saying, yeah, guys, this does look bad for the homie right now, but I'm hoping that there's an explanation. So I've been in a place where I've had to criticize the people that I would prefer not to be in kind of negative limelights over and over and over on this channel. You guys remember the whole situation that happened with Mr. Beast maybe a year or two ago? Good Lord, that was a long time. People were getting canceled for just knowing who this guy Shadman is. I still don't know 100% who he is, but he was this guy that drew a lot of like art that was not so bueno, okay? And people were getting destroyed just for knowing who he is. Not even being his friends, right? They're like, you know who this guy is? You follow people. Omni, why do you follow XYZ on Twitter? So I get it. By association, people will try to figure out a way to crucify it. And it's not always easy in that moment to kind of hold firm on your values and beliefs, because the internet is a terrifying place where it can come in waves. I've said this, man. I've said this in countless times, how quick it can go from 0 to 100, where someone could be your best friend and your homie watching you, and they'll be like, Omni, I cannot believe that you killed that man. Unsubscribe based off the claim, and then it's too late and it's gone. I know how the internet works. It's a terrifying place as a content creator from time to time. The overall point here is that many things can be true at once. Let's just can we be real? Can we just have a face-to-face? Can we talk? Okay, no gaslighting. I'm not here calling anybody morons. I'm not out here calling any of you idiots. I'm not here challenging your mental health. I'm not saying that the way that you view the world is incorrect or false, that your brain is something in your brain. I'm not here to try to minimize you or gaslight you or manipulate you. The Hasan situation looks bad. Hasan, valkyrae have also confirmed it looks bad. Every single one of these clips individually, I don't know what's going on, and culmination, there's a correlation of events that looks like it's pointing to the concept that Mans is reaching over to the left, potentially grabbing the joint and hitting the buzz button in order to train Kaya in order to sit in the corner, which he has said that he has done with a leash. There's a place. That's what it looks like. Okay. But it's not what it has to be. Okay. And again, I keep allowing Hasan to explain his side of the story if that's not the case. So again, not boxing them into a corner, but also pointing out to an actual thing that could potentially exist. Now, I've noticed that by giving objective facts and information and telling people about what could be, what my suspicions may be, what my opinions are, the objective facts, there seems to be a lot of people responding with anger, frustration, and I think I get it. I'm actually not upset. I'm not angry. If you're somebody who supports Hasan, who you've been watching for a long time, you identify with his ideologies, you identify with the fight that he's trying to do, you identify with the positives that he's trying to create. This is hard pill to swallow, that this could be a potential, right? And then so what happens is that some people choose to look away. They choose to ignore it. This is This is just regular human behavior, where if you take somebody that somebody loves and they have this bias, and then they prevent something that kind of dismantles that specific view that they have on them, it also affects them as well, because it affects your own ego and your own character. And when it becomes about your own ego and your own character and your own judgment in people, then it starts to become a place where you deny it even more and more. Humans resist anything that challenge the ego. It's a tough thing to swallow. It's a hard thing, and some people aren't even aware of it. But there's also a lot of people who are aware of it and don't care. We've seen this happen on both the left and the right and all forms of politics, where it can look like your guy did something really bad and we're going to stay hush hush about it. It looks like this person did really bad, but you ain't really going to talk about that. Or this looks really bad, but I'm just not going to believe that. Okay, so sometimes even with the presenting of evidence, the fact that you even believe the claim in the first place, even the fact that you think that evidence exists, some people will purposely just say like, no, I don't want anything about it. And they will lie. They will basically gaslight you, and they will say you are an idiot. You have mental health issues for even thinking that this is a possibility. That's the fact that you think that this is even an option, then there's something wrong with you. I feel like the situation has been pretty eye-opening. I feel like I've always known that this is how, people do work. But it's also something that I'm kind of experiencing on my own, even on this channel, where people are upset that I'm even covering it. They're asking me to move on. They're asking me to not show information. Like Omni, can you stop talking about this? Where the information that we're talking about is potentially about how Hasan might be lying about shocking his dog. Okay? I think we have animal lovers in here. I think we kind of want to confirm or deny that that is the case. I think we also want to confirm or deny that a person who is a political figure who talks about people all the time may be lying to you or the other people, or using lying in general. Okay? You want this to be information to know. But it feels like there's certain people who just don't want this information to be the truth, and therefore they get very upset and very mad that I'm even entertaining the possibility, even without condemning the man. My response is that I do not like losing you guys at all. It does suck to see people unsubscribe, kind of thing as well. But I have to maintain my integrity, which is doing my best to figure out what's happening objectively. Okay, taking my time with it, even you want to call me a fence sitter, all right? Waiting for more information to come out, even though you think it's just obvious, Omni, and the fact that you haven't jumped on it, it means that you're on somebody's side. I have to kind of remain strong in that, because that's what I feel. That's what I want to do. And if I bend to comments, then I bend out of myself, and then I stop being who I am. And you guys will see that. You'll read it, I have to hope that you guys at home are trying, or you follow me not because I echo what you want to hear, but you follow me because I give independent opinion thought, and I do my best to give everybody a fair shake. I do my best to present the information objectively without trying to skew you. Okay, people have been communicating that I'm trying to skew people into hating Hasan because I'm giving my opinion that I think that this looks bad, that it looks weird, and I'm trying to skew you. I'm not. I don't know how many times that I have to communicate. Think for yourself. Come to your own conclusion, and that I respect your opinion, until the fact that I just believe that some people are just saying this in order to kind of make me feel bad, in order to try to manipulate me. Okay, I'm not going to continue to repeat myself in this kind of way, because I do know who I am, and I do know that I have the homies here who know who I am, and that's all I need. That's all I need. That's all I need. Anyway, rant over. You're all caught up. Okay. You're caught up on the lore with Hasan. You're caught up with the lore that's happening about everybody else. You're caught up on the lore that's been happening with me. Okay. And I have more thoughts about this situation. This, again, such an interesting social commentary that's happening around here. It's just exposing a lot of people for their true nature. That's what I think is happening. True natures are coming out, and people are trying to identify like, wow, this is how this is how things are actually working. It's one of those things too. I feel like a lot of people are going to wake up their eyes to is recognizing the idea of how they're being manipulated and not recognize it. There's people who are being lied. They don't recognize it. There are people who are being moved and they don't recognize it. And there's going to be people who realize that they themselves have been lying to themselves and may recognize it, but they just don't know what to do with it. It's a weird place to be in. So I feel like not even just for the whole collar campaign that's happening with Hasan, I think a bigger overarching I would say, theme about this are the dynamics at play, the factions at play, the pros and cons, the tribalism, and then protecting your image and trying to cater to audience. There's so many things that we can talk about with the nuance here. But yes, let me know how you guys feel about the situation below, okay? In my opinion, Hasan looks sus. Again, however, for the 5th, 6th, 7th time, I'm going to wait for Hasan to explain himself. I would like to see what he has to say about the new evidence. I would like to see what QTCinderella or any of his friends or what other people might feel as well. I would like to wait to see for more information. And I believe that as I wait and as I chill and as I collect information and data with you guys and talk to you about it, the truth will eventually come out. And then when the truth finally comes out, then I will come to my conclusion because said truth has come out. I'm not going to, not trying to chase the truth. The chase will come to us. Just chill. All right. That's it. Okay, that's all for today's video. Okay, I want to talk about more topics outside of the Hasan thing. Desperately. Okay, desperately. I was hoping that this was going to end on Friday. Okay, I don't want to keep going. But it is at the forefront, so I'm going to head out. I love you guys. One more thing, though. I know I've been doing a lot of side yapping, okay? I appreciate you guys who tune in, man, and don't try to bend me, and don't try to push me, and don't try to dissuade me from having independent thought. It means a lot. Like, you guys have no idea. I've been seeing so many comments in the past couple of days and the weeks, even though I've been losing subscribers like crazy. There's been so much freaking support for you guys saying, like, I respect your conviction and doing your best to be that objective person that's not choosing sides nonstop. That it warms my heart, because I do feel like for the most part, people like me get way more flack than not for not just going in on people in the way that they want to. And it's almost like it feels good to be seen in my audience. I feel like a lot of you guys that we are in correlation, even though there's so many different versions of you guys out there. There's a mixed bag of Skittles in this chat room. You guys are absolutely wow. But the thing that we all come together in is that you guys respect who I am and you appreciate me for who I am. And I appreciate that you appreciate me. It means the absolute world to me that we've been able to create this audience. I've created this brick by brick by brick, bro. Okay. Over the times of saying, giving opinions on things that make people mad, or not doing this or not doing that, and all the hate comments and everything, brick by brick by brick. But I feel like the ones that are still here are the true ones. And I'm going to continue to deliver what it is that I'm saying that I'm delivering on, which is talking about things as objectively as possible, letting you guys know what's happening around the world, joking and having fun and giving my opinion, allowing you guys to have your own one as well and not shaming you for it. Okay, I'm trying to create healthy, I know it's wild, a healthy community and a toxic internet workplace. I get it, but that's my goal and that's my attempt. It may not get the views, it may not get the echo chamber or the subs. Okay, I'm not. Unfortunately, you guys are going to be probably more intelligent and educated than most audiences, so it's going to be harder to manipulate. Okay. By the way, please subscribe and hit the subscribe button and notification button if you don't mind. Anyway, I love you guys. I just wanted to say I appreciate y'all. I think I could say it over and over and over again. But recently, you guys have really been warming my heart. And yes, I am yapping. And yes, I am repeating myself. But again, it's just important. I have a lot on my heart that makes me feel very good of what we've created and what we have here. And I'm hoping that we can continue going forward like this. I love y'all. Yeah, take it easy. Okay. Until the next saga comes to place, until it comes to the end, until this thing finally comes to win, I'll keep you guys posted. We're vested. All right. I'll keep you posted. You guys take it easy. Peace.